So I'm going to go ahead and introduce the evaluators we had for tonight's 3 key speeches. The first was Kevin. Would you go ahead and stand up? All right, so my job today was to evaluate Anthony's speech, Je ne sais pas. So, first, I would say that your goal today was to meet the time requirements. You did. Second goal was to have minimum filler words. You did. And good recovery from stumbles. I didn't catch any. And I don't know if I didn't catch any because you were very descriptive in what you were describing. So maybe that's a good thing. So one of the things for the speech was to use rhetorical devices. And I didn't know what it meant, so I looked it up online. Rhetorical devices to convey to the listener a meaning. Convey to the listener a meaning with the goal of persuading them towards a topic from a different perspective. And in the long run, his goal was to go out of his comfort zone and learn something about the French culture. And at first I didn't understand where you were going with your story, but then I was able to piece it all together once you got toward the end. So I would say that it was very organized because in some cases it's not meant for you to really be able to piece it until you get to that certain point. You went from talking about how people are nervous about speeches, and I felt like, okay, where's he going with this? But then I felt like you were taking that, you took it from people being uncomfortable with speeches, and you go to San Francisco to a restaurant, and you're in a different environment, and you're learning about them. And then you go from there into stepping out, then now you want to learn about the French culture. So by me saying that, I'm just saying I'm able to understand what you were trying to say with your speech. And I know it's not good to say that speeches are perfect. I'm not going to say it's perfect, but I didn't catch anything that, in my eye, was wrong, except for that being in your way at the beginning. And other than that, I think it was a great speech. All right, thank you, Kevin. Now we're going to go ahead and get to the second evaluator. And did we have a second evaluator?
Yes, it is Jasmine.
Jasmine, all right.
This is the story of a girl who likes to sing. This is the story of a girl who, when she meets challenges, she might cry, but she pulls herself back together and she meets those challenges. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and most welcome guests, especially Jessica, this is the story of Jessica. This is an example of an opening that attracts your audience's attention. And I think it's something to keep in mind when you are preparing for a speech in the future. That being said, I loved your speech tonight, and this was your icebreaker. It was the first speech being in Toastmasters, and I could tell that you just had so much preparation into your presentation with the photos, not using any notes at all, and you had great eye contact with your audience, and you were able to keep yourself very calm and collected and enthusiastic, all the while not using anything really to guide you, no outline or anything. A couple things that I noticed to express to you to improve on in the future, like I said, the opening. One of the objectives for the icebreaker speech is to have a clear opening, body, and conclusion. And overall, I felt that you progressed from your childhood onto your college years to your present day now. So it felt like, it kind of had like that chronological order, but then I didn't feel like the opening and the ending were as strong as they could be. And those are your 2 points where you can make a lasting impression on your audience. So that's one thing to notice. Another thing was just the timing. I believe tonight you may have been, was she a little under or a little over?
She's a little bit over.
Okay, a little bit over. And that's just something you can improve with time or with practice. So just when you're practicing your speeches, you can time yourself as you're going, just so you know where you are. The last thing that I I wanted to comment on was that you, like I said earlier, you have so much energy, and there was a point where you just like turned to the screen and your arms are like way out here, and but you kind of just stayed here like the whole time. And don't be afraid to like move out and walk around and utilize all that energy that you have. Let's see. I really loved how you used the pictures to tell the story of your life. Being involved in the music ensemble and singing, like you really took us there. And I really hope that if you continue on in the club that you sing for us at some time, because I love to hear it. But I loved also when you were talking about meeting challenges in ROTC and how you had that experience where you wanted to cry and you came back every time though, and I love that, and I feel like a lot of people in this club can relate to you because we're all pushing ourselves to become better. So I really love that you shared that about yourself. And what's something else I can tell you? You had great projection, you had really great stage presence, and you also were obviously very well prepared tonight. So thank you for taking that step out and doing your first speech, and I really look forward to hearing more that you do in the future. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Jasmine. Let's go ahead and finish up with the third speech evaluator, Tiffany. Would you like to come up?
So I evaluated Janice, and I think, I didn't actually know I was going to come up here and say all this stuff, but I think as an icebreaker, you were super personable. Like you talked about your heritage, and I think that you know, that's so much a part of you. That's an awesome icebreaker to start off with, and having the courage to just, you know, put yourself out there, like be kind of an open book is a great way to, you know, break the ice when you're meeting new people. You had really good gestures, and you had really good pregnant pauses. Like I liked how you paused, you know, and you waited, you know, to emphasize a certain point. I really like that. And like I said, I think the audience, I was able to really know you through your heritage, and just, you know, like we were BFFs kind of. That's kind of how you. That's how like the energy you gave across to me. And in terms of, I'm just going down the line here. Adequate preparation, I think definitely just well rehearsed, super smooth, good transitions. And another thing was that you pronounced and enunciated like your words very well, so I like that. And good intro, interesting intro, and I like the part towards the end when you got to the end. Your parents were kind of your inspiration, and I think that was really nice to kind of throw that in there because so much of your heritage comes from your parents. In terms of maybe improvements, maybe a little bit more energy. I mean, that's not even a big thing. I just put it down there. And I thought it was personal, inspirational, especially the breaking the chain. I like that. I like that analogy thrown there at the end.
All right, thanks Tiffany and all the other evaluators. I thought we had some pretty awesome speeches tonight. Really enjoyed learning a little bit more about all you guys and, you know, some of the challenges you faced, the passions you've discovered, things like that. Hope to hear a lot more at the coming meetings. As I so deftly forgot to notify all of you evaluators, there was a time limit of 2 to 3 minutes on your evaluations. I'll be sure to explain that next time. But tough luck for you guys because we're going to go ahead and have the timers report on your evaluations.
Thank you, Toastmaster. So, General Evaluator. So I think you made a great point that we didn't specify that there were time constraints because the speakers just spoke and didn't know that they were going to get time. Unfortunately, I did time it. And since there was a 2 to 3 minute time limit, you were getting a green card at 2 minutes, yellow at 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and a red at 3 minutes, which meant you went over. And Kevin came in at 2 minutes, Jasmine came in at 3 minutes and 30 seconds, a little bit over, and Tiffany at 1 minute and 50 seconds. So only Kevin qualifies.
I bet.
Can we just